After the match against Dallas, Dan talked about he loved the clean sheet, but there were some guys maybe still unsatisfied that you didn't come away with anything in the net. Do you prefer that kind of attitude, especially even early on when you guys are still kind of figuring things out in the early part of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that assessment. I thought there was a lot of positives from the Dallas game, but at the end of the day, we didn't score a goal, and we want to win, and that's what we have to do. And there's certainly areas in the game that we needed to improve, but that's sort of the environment that we build here, is one that wants to get better always, wants to continue to learn, wants to continue to grow. A lot of what we do is reflected and refining on the last game to get better for the next game, and that's how we've spent this week. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the process that we follow, and, hopefully we are able to make some improvements. It's early in the season, so we're the expectation for us in our building is that we aren't the final product. We don't want to be the final product, and we're just going to keep getting a little bit better each day.
So against Dallas, it looked a little different in terms of the shape you guys set up in than New England, the match before. Did you see what you wanted from that first, and then second, just how do you feel like the team has adapted to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think each game that we go into, the opponent's going to pose different challenges. So you saw, we saw New England who played in a back four, and you saw Dallas who played in a back five. And I think for us, for us to become elite, we need to be able to make sure that we can adapt to the demands of the game going into the game, and then the demands that happen inside the game. And I thought the guys did a really good job of doing that. Again, without being said, that we have to, certain areas need to improve, certain phases need to improve, but I thought the team, adjusted well and put in a good performance.
And then one thing we talked about this season was the depth and just the amount of players you have available to you and the quality of the players that you have available to you. Last season, we saw a lot of times where Hani Mukhtar and Sam Surridge were always relied upon and played the midweek game and then played the weekend, and not just them too, a lot of them. Do you anticipate more of a change, or do you still expect the players to be ready to play 2 games a week or 3 games a week?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look anywhere around the world, guys are going to play 2-3 games a week. For us, we always want to field, the strongest lineup we can on the game that's right in front of us. And the game that's right in front of us right now is Minnesota. That's what we're focused on this week, and we're going to try to put out the strongest lineup that we can.
Go to Jacob, then Claudio.
Yeah. BJ, what have you been able to do with this game being the first time this season that you've had really a full week in preparation to lead up to it?
Well, first and foremost, to get a day off for the guys, that helps. Just a way to get away from the building, get away from the game, and get a little bit of a mental reset. I think what we saw when we came back into training, a freshness to the group, which helps. And then, a really, I think, an opportunity to kind of get into the training rhythm that we want and the preparation that we want. And it's been, I think, a good week kind of building into tomorrow night.
What do you learn from playing an MLS game without Sam Surridge? What do you find out about yourself in the way you were able to play a game without him?
I think it gives an opportunity to another player to make an impact. And I thought a lot of those guys were able to do that. And listen, it's not just Sam; it's anybody. We have a next man up mentality here, and so whether that's the Matt Corcoran getting a red card or 2 yellows, and someone gonna have to step up this week, or Sam Surridge getting sick. That's part of being part of a team. It's about always being ready and being prepared, and that's what I think is a strength of this team.
BJ, the fact that James Rodriguez hasn't started yet, it's difficult to say. Well, I just haven't seen him play, especially not in the Minnesota scheme. But does it make a difference for you in terms of preparation for a team like that? Thinking about if he might even play or start?
I mean, I think we prepare. James is always a player that you're going to prepare for, but we're preparing for Minnesota. And I think what we've seen out of Minnesota, even in just a couple short games with Cameron in charge, is a team that's really organized, really detailed in all the phases of play. And so, they're a strong team and can hurt you in a lot of ways. If James is on the field, they're still going to be able to hurt you in a lot of ways. If he's not, they have a lot of individual talent. They have got a lot of experience on their team. Guys have played in big games and successful MLS seasons. So we know how good Minnesota is, and also I would say even some of the little changes that that they've made, going into this season in a positive way.
Now, without, obviously, you can't go into details about it, but I mean, when you're talking about next man up, so you always said that anyways, the fact that Cochran is not there and somebody else will have to step up, does it create also changes, a lot of changes in the middle, even if you have to start somebody else in this space or bring in somebody else from the bench when you need to?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. I mean, I think you see that we're going to have to put obviously a new starters. Can't be the same 11 because Matt can't play. So that's going to be that next man up, and whether we decide that's going to be in the midfield or we change things, we're going to have to, the guys have to adapt. And that goes back to my earlier comment. Like, we not only have to adapt to what the opponent is going to do, still trying to stay true to what we do, but then there's always in-game demands. And as we kind of continue to work through this season, we're going to continue to get better at that.
Yeah, it looked like Sam was out there today. Is he back? And I guess has maybe the spread been contained kind of in the locker room?
So, yeah, I mean, the best way I can say it is everybody is available. The only player that won't be available is Chris Applewhite, sustained a hamstring injury in the Huntsville game, so he's the unavailable player. Matt Corcoran is clearly unavailable, but everybody else is available.
And then I wanted to ask about Cam Knowles. I know the kind of coaching change happened pretty close to the start of the season. I guess first, what have you seen from him so far and just how his team sets up, but also kind of what does it say about him that he's able to jump in and take over on what looked like fairly short notice?
Yeah, I mean, certainly I don't know the inner workings. I can only see from the outside, and I'd be really impressed with can continue to say, like, the detail of all of the phases of play, whether that's their mid-block, whether that's them building pressure, whether that's them with the ball. Their adaptable build-up shapes, the way they finish attacks. I think you can see that he's made a really positive impact on that team in a short time. That's credit to him. He's a very good coach, and we know that this is going to be a difficult game in the sense that they're a very complete group.
Current, do you have anything to add?
Yeah. Can you just talk about Christian and about, I know he's only been here a short time, but what he's added to the team so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, we talk about, like, the team culture, the NSC DNA. He's got it. He's a hard worker, humble and hungry to get better, wants to improve, wants to make his teammates better. And so I think it's been a great addition. I think on the field you see that he has the opportunity to make plays, whether that's through setting up someone else or getting into dangerous goal-scoring chances. And I think, with that gives us another weapon. And, I think as we continue through the season, we're going to see some real positive impact from him.
Do you have another?
Yeah, Leagues Cup, schedule was announced. I know it's still a ways away, but just your thoughts on being in that tournament and some of the teams are going to be playing.
Sure. I mean, for us, it's a tournament that you have to earn your way into based upon your last season's results. So I think, that's a credit to our club getting back into, a premier event. I'm glad all 3 games are here at GEODIS. It's a nice opportunity to play different opponents. It's a different challenge and a whole different sort of environment. And I think for us, we like to play in different types of knockout tournaments per se, whether that's like a group stage type of event that we'll play in with Leagues Cup, or these sort of aggregate home and aways that you get in CONCACAF Champions League, and you have your season. So these different types of challenges make it give you new stimulus to kind of keep you energized. So we look forward to playing in the Leagues Cup.
All right, thanks, Coach. Thanks, guys. We'll go back to Christian.
Great, thanks, guys.